Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Josh's Gems. Today's episode, we are playing Mother 3. So this is one of those weird ones that, is this a hidden gem? And when I said Josh's Gems, Josh's hidden gem, sorry about that. Is this a hidden gem? And it's kind of one of those weird kind of questions to ask about this game because it was never released in the US. So it's one of those like, yes, I'm a big gamer. I'm kind of in the know kind of thing. But it's like, how many people like know of this game who, aren't into the Earthbound series, the Mother series, and things like that, who, have heard of Earthbound but have never, heard of the Mother series, like Mother 1, and then, Earthbound being Mother 2. And, there's a Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance, kind of thing like that. So that was kind of one of those things that it was like, is this a hidden gem? Is it not a hidden gem? But I'm going to consider it a hidden gem because I was having a couple conversations with some friends, telling them, "Oh, hey, I downloaded a fan translation of Mother 3 the other day, and I'm really, really liking the game. Like, I actually like this more than I like Earthbound. That might be sacrilege to some people. I don't really know. Like, I'm not sure how this ranks because again, a lot of people talk about it, but they talk about it in a sense they want Nintendo to release a translated version on like the Nintendo Shop Online kind of thing, like, oh, not the Nintendo Shop Online, the Nintendo Online service kind of thing like that. So it's just kind of one of those like, is this really a big and yes, I named the characters different names of people I know. And Mando's my dog's name. So just in case you were wondering why these names do not match up to what you might know if you play the series, kind of thing like that. But yeah, so it was one of those, is that a hidden gem? I think it's a hidden gem amongst people who aren't big into the Earthbound series, like Mother and all that kind of thing like that. So I'm gonna classify it as a hidden gem. And I am playing this on my Legion Go. Um, Obviously not a Game Boy Advance because it's translated. This is one of those gray area ROMs and emulation that I always kind of talk about, to where it's one of those things like, if I could buy this an American version of this, I would have bought it. I would have bought it for my Switch. I would have bought a Game Boy Advance version to play on my Game Boy Advance player, but I can't. It's just not available. So what am I to do? I really want to play this game for years. So I finally just kind of like, because I have the Legion Go, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. Um, or not buy it. I didn't buy it. No, nothing was purchased. Nothing illegally was done here. So I was like, I'm just gonna emulate this because I want to play it, and it always seemed like a cool game. I like Earthbound, and I was like, this will just be kind of a cool game to have and play. And for it being backup purposes, I do plan on um, buying a copy of this, a complete in-box copy of this when I go to Japan in a month's time. So this will technically be a backup then. So there is that. And again, because I'm on my Legion Go, I could cast this, unlike the DS when I was doing um, Tetris DS the other day. But the reason why I'm not casting is because I'm trying. Oh, I probably shouldn't touch that. Those just might be fights. Yep, those are fights. I'm not casting this because I'm trying out new editing software on my phone for Japan so that I can take film because I use a computer. I don't use a laptop to edit things. So it's one of those, it's like, I want to be able to edit and post videos while I'm in Japan. So I downloaded Photoshop, whatever Photoshop's like free um, app is for editing stuff on the phone. I already did a short today with it, but I want to try to do a full length video and edit that way. So that's why I'm doing this on the phone, and you're seeing, my screen like this instead of me casting it and being clear. So you can just kind of bear with me on that. That would be kind of awesome. But yeah, so yeah, this game is just a fun game to play, and I really, really enjoy it. That's why it's kind of a hidden gem. It's a fantastic RPG. I love. I'm sorry, this is not lined up because I've got these stupid legs on this tripod. Um, but yeah, it's got the counter system as you can see right there. So you can kind of like, if your guy gets like, so let's say Keenan, who I've named here, he gets 223 points of damage. I can try to heal him with one of my other characters before that reaches zero, so he doesn't faint and go down. I think it's a really cool feature um, in the Earthbound series. Just so it's almost like a beat the clock kind of thing. And same with like if you're on your last guy and he's about to die, but you get that mortal blow on an opponent, um, you can do that before he dies, and you can then you know win the fight and then heal him up, kind of thing like that. So it is a really cool system that they use in place of your normal um HP points and things like that. So I do enjoy that. That's really cool. It takes a minute to get used to it. It's kind of like when I remember when I first played Earthbound for the first time, or Mother 2 for those in the know. And I was just like, wow, this is kind of like, this is confusing. Like, I don't get this. But I did end up talking to a friend, and he kind of explained how the HP and everything works, along with your PP and things like that, which is kind of like your MP for normal RPG players. So I was like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Nope. And I will say, this is well, damn, I just got shocked by this is kind of late in the game. I'm not going to do too much story mode um kind of stuff. I'm not going to advance too far to like spoil any stories. Like, I'm just kind of wandering around, um doing some battles and stuff like that while I play this. In fact, I feel if I advance up that ladder, there's going to be there's going to be story, so I'm not going to do that while I do this. But no, this is just a fun game. Like I said, I don't know if I would classify this. Flash probably won't do anything to him since it's electric. I don't know if I would classify this as a hidden gem because I feel a lot of people in the know about it. But at the same time, it's one of those. I've talked to a bunch of friends who game but don't know about um, Mother 3, so maybe it is a hidden gem. But yeah, this game has been so much fun to play. I've been hooked. And like I said, it may be sacrilege to some, but I think I like this better than Earthbound. I know for this series, Earthbound is kind of the gold standard, but I think that's because it's readily available in English. You can get it on the Nintendo Switch online. You could have gotten it from the Virtual Console, or you could have been one of the people who bought it when it came out on the Super Nintendo. So I think that's why. But the charm of this, the family sense of this, much like Earthbound, is just a lot of fun to me. I like how you play through different chapters and you play as different characters in the game. So that is pretty cool to me as well. So I really, there's just so much to like about this game. It's just a fun little quirky story, and I think if you dig Earthbound, you're obviously gonna like this. And again, I'm playing an emulation because I can't play this in English. Like, there's no other way but the fans translation. And so I hope that Nintendo one day does bring this legitimately to the U.S. I know they've teased it. Reggie Fils-Aimé has teased it several times, and we never got it. So that would be really cool if they did bring it, so more people could play it. But it's one of those things. If you can emulate it, I kind of recommend doing that. It's just a fun game, and maybe if enough of us like yell at Nintendo, they will give this to us in a package that we can actually play. I mean, in all honesty, like, the work has been done, Nintendo. The work has been done on this fan translation. It wouldn't be too much for you to just say, "Hey, let's go ahead and maybe we'll kick a few bucks away to this group that did the fan translation for us." And or maybe we just give them like a special edition Mother 3 Nintendo Switch 2, kind of thing like that. Like, that would be just a really cool way to bring it back, because probably part of the reason why Nintendo doesn't want to do that is they don't want to take the time and money to translate it. But like I said, it's already been done. So just go ahead and kick a couple bucks over to this fan group, and they can distribute it out through all the people who have you know, done it, played it, or translated it, and everything like that. So yeah, so that's why Mother 3 is this week's Josh's Hidden Gems. And again, I do apologize for the way I'm filming this. I'm just trying some new stuff out, and I was like, how am I going to do that? I was like, oh, since this is kind of a Game Boy Advance game, I wouldn't be able to emulate that any other way, so we're going to do it this way. So that's kind of why I did this. I was going to play it in handheld mode, but then I was like, oh, my hands are going to get in the way when I'm trying to do stuff. So I just used my 8-bit dough controller, so that way I can be off camera and test everything out. So that is Josh's hidden gem. Definitely worth a play. Like I recommended everybody go out and buy Tetris DS last week, so you don't have to emulate that game. That game you can purchase, but this game, unless you know Japanese, it doesn't make much sense to purchase it. Obviously, but yeah, this is a fun game to play if you have the means to play it. I say definitely play it. Like you can see, I've got 15 and a half hours put into this. Whenever I start like an RPG, I always look up how long it takes to beat, and on average it's about 25 hours. So I'm a little over halfway through the game. Maybe halfway, maybe a little less because I did do some side stuff and did some grinding to level up and things like that, as you do in an old school RPG. But yeah, it's my hidden gem of the week. Check it out when you can. And also, thanks for watching. If you want to show some love to the channel, we're at 402 subscribers. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of March for our big Japan trip. So that way we can do super chats and sponsored stuff and be monetized. So that's kind of the goal for Japan. So if you haven't subscribed already and you like what you're seeing, throw me a subscribe. It doesn't cost you nothing or anything like that. And I definitely appreciate it. Until next time, take care and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye now.